I wanted to concentrate my superintendent's report on a status update on where we are with our UPK planning. So first, you will see tonight on our consent agenda that I'm asking the board to approve the contract with YMCA, which is the next big hurdle in the process. So in our, and thank you to John Chow for partnering with me. He was up in Albany on Wednesday for us, and we have our application filled out, and it's been certified with the state. So we're making great progress. When we were meeting with the YMCA about the contract, and we were speaking with them about the lease, they gave us a very honest picture for what OCFS, which is the Office of Child and Family Services, they are the licensing agent for daycare and preschools. They're understaffed right now. And and they talked about the delay in what it would take to get, and I'm gonna get all these churches confused, so bear with me. Holy Rosary in Hawthorne was our plan. That's where we had gone out, that's what we had talked about. But they don't have a lease with the Archdiocese yet, and it's not OCFS inspected and certified yet. And their previous experience of late with getting programs certified is months out. So when we were working with them and we were talking about how long this could take, we found the conversation winding down the road of, well, at what point should we not have it? At which point they informed us that they have a program up and running with several different participants in the site. It is at Holy Name of Jesus and Valhalla. You didn't know why I was going to get confused until I started saying about all the holiness.
Now it's all becoming clear.
Holy Name of Jesus and Valhalla has 2 classrooms that are open at this point. We went this morning out. We couldn't go yesterday because it was different. We wanted to see it in full operation. So we went out this morning. Both John and I were impressed with the program. We spoke at length again with representatives from the YMCA, and we are transitioning our goal for this year to be able to utilize those classrooms at the Holy Name of Jesus and Valhalla to have our UPK program. We will concurrently be working with the YMCA, and they're working with the OCFS, and they're going to be working with the Archdiocese on the lease and the certification, et cetera, so that by the time September of 2024 comes, we could have
the full program.
Utilization of all of our allocations, hopefully, if our supply of students meets our allocation of seats. So I don't know if that sounded as confusing for you. It makes sense for what we're doing with the UPK piece at this point. So we'd be looking to fill 32 spots in January. So there's 2 classrooms.
Okay, so it's half of what you had, I think, originally, right?
76.
Yeah, I mean, originally we weren't going to get to, full capacity for a January transition. I've spoke to many families in the community. A transition mid-year for a 4-year-old is not, ideal.
Yeah.
So, and families are in their routines and things are established. So I think that this is a great case scenario for us to be up and running in January, and then hopefully fully operational in September of 2024, with hopefully all the seats filled that we have funding for. So I'm going to follow up. Obviously, everything's sort of pretty new, but we have drafted a timeline of, we're pretty much on par with what I had put out on August 15th, the last time I spoke about pre-K. So I'll put together another communication to families. I know that they're eager to hear. I know that our current providers in the community are also eager to hear what's going on and where we might land on this. So that's the status. of UPK planning, and I'll put it all together in a package on paper and get it out to our community, so.
So if we're having trouble having that certified, and think of all the other pre-K programs that are having trouble, because OCFS is understaffed.
Yes. So they're short, in particular, inspectors. And the inspector does a lot of work. And then once it gets an initial inspection, there's a lot of applications that go back and forth. They're the licensing agency.
Sure.
For, again, daycares as well as preschools across the state.
Right.
And I imagine they're probably not willing to come out to a site to assess it and approve it until they actually, there's a lease signed.
I don't know if that's the case. The YMCA has put in all of their applications. They
Right.
put in the application for the initial inspection ahead of them having the lease.
They did say that to us when we spoke with them on
I
Friday.
think, this is a big topic across the state, so if they're understaffed, you just can only imagine.
The ripple effect. Well, I just want to say thank you. I know it's been a ton of work, and I think it's a good backup plan
Yeah.
to what
Yeah.
the original plan was. And I guess the only question I had was if we're looking at September 2024 for like full utilization. I know there'd been some discussion about there's Holy Rosary, but they'd also been looking at potentially other sites in Pleasantville. Do we think that's still a possibility? Are they still exploring other sites, or are they kind of
They're
honed in?
exploring Holy Rosary at this point.
Okay.
And really
Okay.
trying to work on that
on that
piece.
particular piece? Okay.
But I would say if there is a space that
For the
can fit
for the 5 people
76
watching, if there's-
preschool children in Pleasantville, like,
they'd be open.
speak now.
Okay.
It really needs a pretty large site because
does, yeah.
we need to have 5 classrooms.
Yeah.
Each
Yep.
classroom can only have 16
Right.
kids.
Right.
And
Okay.
you need
Each
space.
classroom gets inspected to determine the, the amount of
Ratios.
students that could fit in there safely. So that's part of the initial inspection, along with the to-do list of what needs to happen to that space to come into compliance. So a lot of things sort of happen at the same time. But, very excited and happy to do everything that we can to bring this to the community and, kind of work through the challenges as they present themselves. And hopefully, our timeline will be once we get this up and running, fingers crossed, for January, we'll be experts and we'll know what to do on a larger scale for our September 2024 preschoolers. So it's exciting.
Sometimes a pilot is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Thank you.